What's going on, traders? Guess who's back into the hot seat and ready to go ahead and do what I do best? They don't call me Money Mitch for no reason. Let's get into it. It's time to make that money. Welcome to it, live trading with Benzinga. Where the hell did you guys move the intro? Good Lord.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Those words have been dancing around my head all night. I mean, it's Vegas lore, that phrase.
All right, traders, let's go ahead. Let's get into it. Let's bring on the guys. We got Ryan Faloona and, of course, Zunaid in the house. What's going on, man?
What's up, buddy? Who moved the intro? Dude?
Yeah, I gotta say, we're gonna start off with that. First of all, Mitch, while you were gone, there was a morning where I struggled to find the intro until AT told me where it was. So the fact that you came back and then tried to blame us for moving it, which is not the case, is pretty.
Well, it was moved.
I enjoyed that quite a bit.
It was moved. It was scrolled on up. I keep them at the bottom, but that's just maybe because when I'm used to it.
When we couldn't find it, we reached out to help for the Masters. We didn't move it anywhere.
It's all good. At least we have it. That's what matters. I was able to find it. We were able to get started and get into the market. Now, I don't know how you guys did without me, but it seemed like the market wasn't too friendly, at least on the green side. How did you guys make do?
No, the market was not friendly. It's been a rough week. I'm actually expecting another rough week this week. I did wake up this morning to see Dan Niles is calling for a bear market rally. So maybe we do rally this week. Inevitably, I think we're going back down to 360. I wouldn't be surprised if we put in some more work towards that here today. Futures were down last night. Looks like we're rebounding here a little bit. Dow's still down 130, so we're up off the lows. But I'm expecting another kind of rough week ahead.
Yeah, ready to go ahead and make some money. Let's go ahead. Let's dive into the action. What do you see on today's radar, Ryan?
All right. Well, first of all, I just want to say good morning to everybody. So great to see a whole bunch of returning faces, including Jessica. Welcome back, Jessica. Hope all is well. Beach Bum, Chris, Busy Bee, Voodoo, Keith, Jonathan, Zoltan, Becca. The whole group is here. Thrill, Webcoin, we're all here. We're going to have a great day today, or we're going to try to make some sense out of this market. Now, a couple of things off the movers tool today. Didn't see a whole lot. So I think today is going to be mostly a reactive day based on what we see in the morning. Now, I will say we're going to start with Lvtx. This is Lava Therapeutics. Remember, we've seen these biotech stocks move quite a bit. We do have a catalyst here. Shares are trading higher after the company and CGen announced an exclusive licensing agreement in which CGen will work to develop, manufacture, and commercialize Lava 1223. They will receive $50 million up front and roughly $650 million in potential milestones and royalties. Remember, that is potential. There's going to be all sorts of different benchmarks that they're going to have to hit in order to make that. So let's not assume it's just going to be $700 million. The only thing they've got up front here is $50 million up front. Now, looking at the trading action here, we did kind of butt right up to our highs here. 609 looks to be the high of the pre-market here. So it'll be interesting to see if we bounce above that. If we take a look at the daily chart, you can see we kind of rocketed. This chart had been leaking. We kind of bounced right back into this consolidation area. I'd love to see this kind of get some juice today and make it above 7. I think if we make it above 7, you can pretty much look at each round dollar as a next level above. So 8, 9, and then maybe even 10 or 11 if we get going. We'll see. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. This might just kind of fall flat as soon as the market opens. I'm definitely not going to buy the open. I want to see where this settles. I'd love for this to come back to 550 and kind of hang out there before setting up for the next up move. So we'll see if that materializes. Next on the list here is going to be FFIE. And boy, how many times has this stock given us an opportunity on this very show? I feel like FFIE is in play every other day, or maybe 2 days in between it. We do have another catalyst here. Shares are trading higher if the company announced FF Top will dismiss its lawsuit against the company and its board of directors. So the company also announced a new $100 million financing equipment. So looks like they're getting a reprieve here on one of the lawsuits that was filed against them and the board. We're running up to this $1 level. It'll be interesting to see if we pop above. I'm probably not even going to mess with this unless we show some strength above that $1 level. We'll see if that ends up happening. If we flip to the daily here, you could see a lot of the same thing here. This chart really kind of been ugly. We does look like we have a spot at about 117 to 127. If we break above that, I do think we probably could trade as high as 163-ish. So a lot has to happen for this to work. The stock has been incredibly beat down. Let's see if it can find its footing here this morning. Next, we got a couple of penny stocks on here. I'm basically just going to skip those, but understand that those are moving here this morning. Next one's going to be ISPC. This is iSpecimen. If we flip over here to the news, I didn't really see a whole lot of anything here this morning. So we'll see what ends up happening. Maybe this is just kind of a run here in the pre-market. I do have some levels carved out. I think as long as we can stay above this area here, I would say normally 240. We're right at that area, so let's see what happens. But a move through 250 might put the highs in play. So we'll see if this materializes. Otherwise, I'm going to be watching what the relative volume scanner is today. And on this Monday, I'm not necessarily rushing out to buy stuff. I want to see stuff set up.
All right. Appreciate that. Yeah, definitely another stock, ADTX, that's moving here. I was charting the SPY, but you can see ADTX the past 20 minutes.
Oh, yeah. Good call.
Moved to the upside here.
Let's add that. Yep.
Yeah, I was waiting for this one in the market, but, it already took off, so I'm not going to chase it here at all. You can expect a little bit of resistance, right? Oh, well, look at that, right? I was looking left. Turned out to be exactly where it stopped on the right, 350. I'd be interested in this one if it came back to test $3. So we'll see if it actually does come down there or not. Not gonna put it trade out there just yet. But taking a look at the SPY, let me go ahead. Actually, last night while I was just doing work, I put a little sticky note to make sure I checked out Coin. So we're gonna go ahead and check out Coin here. And the reason for that was because they had purchased $63 calls that expired this week. I think I have to take this call. Hey, Ryan, would you mind taking over for a minute just to see if this is a scam or not?
Oh, you got a phone call?
Yeah,
sure.
Just give me a second.
Yeah, sure. No problem. Let's actually take a look here at ADTX, which Zunaid mentioned right before he needs to go tell that scammer to get wrecked. ADTX bouncing here really went right back to that 350 as Zunaid outlined. I would be really interested in this level. I think a break above this level might put 4 in play. I don't think it'll go straight there, but I think we might be able to kind of grind up towards that level if we're able to clear out some of this consolidation area. So ADTX, this is a good spot. This actually just started running right before I start, or right as I was talking. So I didn't have any of this stuff lined up here. Let's see where this settles. As far as downside after this pop, we really would want it to hold 307, maybe even let's call that 310. But this could be wild here. Again, looking at some of these previous levels, we definitely have some good consolidation area between 4 and 440. So I'd love to see us trade up into that level. Again, the move through 4 there going to be the key. Maybe it is worth looking. Oh, Zunaid, you're back. Sorry about that.
You're good. My apologies. Yeah, someone wanted to see if I was selling my property. So scammer, I don't know.
Okay. You're not though, right? You're not.
No. So usually it says like scam likely and I ignore it, but this was like a legit phone number and
Sure.
I don't know. Anyway, thank you for helping me out there. So back to Coinbase though, and the reason I purchased that is because they were the reason I was looking to purchase Coinbase and trade it this week is because they went ahead and purchased on Friday, I believe it was, $63 calls that expired the end of this week. Approximately 800 contracts, and they pay $278 for it. And there's a dark pool action of worth about 250,000 shares at 61.88. So as you can see, Coinbase has popped this morning. We're going to kind of keep an eye on it. I am interested in this one at around $62. I'll probably give it about $1 of a wiggle room there. So matter of fact, let me start opening up my E-Trade here. Cool. I'm going to go ahead and get that going on Coinbase. So we're going to set an alert here as well at 62.20. And we'll see if Coinbase wants to come back and test it. You can also see just a little bit of a trend line drawn. Nothing too crazy, obviously, since Friday. And we'll see if that continues. So, I mean, ideally, in a perfect world, if this wants to come back at around, say, 12 o'clock or so to 62, you best believe I'm going to try to buy some around that area. Let me go ahead and put in my password here. Make sure I don't type it in the chat. That's good. There we go. All right, log it into my E-Trade now so I can put this trade in. Let's go ahead and check out the SPY. For the SPY here, I'm going to go ahead and delete this little buddy. You've got the 362.33. That is the June lows, right? So if we go back, excuse me, is this a June low right there? Yep, it is. Why is that so out of touch of my life? There you go. 162.15, I believe, is the June low. So let's go back here. You've got, ways away from it. You've got about $7 away from where we currently are. And we'll see how the SPY wants to react. To me, you've got a little bit of resistance here at the 369s. We can just call it that. Let me just go ahead and check something here. Yeah, it's about the 369s. So I'm going to go ahead and put in a little bit of that action right there. We'll see how it wants to trade between this range. I'm not really interested in it otherwise. So if it pops above 369 and it closes on the 5-minute, I will go ahead and try to go ahead and take some long to the upside, and we can see how that behaves on the SPY. So this is the range that I've got. Going to go ahead and set an alert here. Going to go ahead and set an alert here. Now, if the SPY does come down to 362.15s, right, maybe around, let's say 362.35 or so, I would go ahead and get in on some calls with a stop loss below 361s. Now, I have found success trading SPY going out a month or so. I told you guys I wanted to try a little bit of that. So now when I get into a trade, 75-80% of my capital is allocated to a month out contracts, where 20% is just on weekly, so I can still get my fix in. But this is the range that I've got on SPY. Let's go ahead and check out the Qs here.
Real quick.
What's up?
Real quick, Zunaid, you had mentioned coin. Tom in the chat, Tom, real sharp guy here, said coin is getting cheap.
Sure.
I've been waiting for that too, and I feel the same way. I normally look at it at a revenue to market cap, but I'd like to hear what level Tom thinks coin is good there. Just whenever you have it, because I am interested in coin, especially amidst the sell-off.
Yeah, let us know. I'm glad you didn't ask me that because I thought you were about to, but I think you know me well enough to know the answer is always I don't know and I do not care. Yep, you're good there. So that's what we got on coin. Let us know what price you're thinking about there, and let's talk about LVS. This has been a little bit of a nice mover here in the morning with the Macau situation. So we'll go ahead and keep an eye on LVS, especially if it wants to go ahead and find some call buying that's happening in this one. So we'll keep an eye on this. We'll see what's going on with ADTX just for fun. All right, it's coming back a little bit. There we go. This is why we don't chase. This is why we wait for our opportunity. I want to kind of get this at $3. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to get this at $3, but I don't know where my stop loss would be is the only thing. Oh, where'd my mouse go? Okay, there we go. Want to buy this at $3, and I think my stop loss, if I got in this one, would be around the 290 break. But I just don't have the best read on it, so I'm not gonna try to force a play here. Let's go ahead and check out the Qs here. Don't have the best read on the Qs either, besides maybe just a high a day rejection, possibly around the 276 area, right below 276.50s. But don't have the best read on it, and you can see the lows on this one from Friday are around the 272. I believe the Dow is already below June lows, but I could be wrong at that price level there. But let's go ahead and check out Apple. Apple, you had the lows of 148.37 is where I had a line drawn. It bounced right before that, so that's been working out pretty well for us. Now we keep an eye to see if the 150 ends up being a rejection or not. I'm not going to lie. I was getting frustrated when I was trading this one on Friday in the afternoon session because I love my 150s, but this goddamn thing, sorry, apologies. See, it just slips sometimes. But this stock would get all the way to 150.50s, and then just that would be it. It would act like 150.50 was 150, and it wasn't, and that was the most frustrating thing. Because I kept shorting it around here, but eventually I finally got the short and it paid and it worked out very well. But now the game plan is going to be to just kind of keep an eye on it, see how it behaves around the 150 level, especially the 150.50. You can see right over here. It's trying to break above it. Same resistance area there. We'll see how things work out on that one on Apple. Don't have the best read, but if it wants to come back and test the 148.37, I will go ahead and try to go ahead and grab some stock on Apple. To the long side, stop loss would be below the 148 area. Let's go ahead and check out some Tesla before we turn it over to Mitch. 270, I think, is a solid spot to grab some calls or some equity there if you believe in it to the long side, especially if you believe in a bit of a rally, whether it's a dead cat rally or whatever you believe is happening. That could be a nice little spot there. Pre-market low stop loss would be about $1. So you'd be looking to get out around 269 break on this one here. What you got, Mitch?
All right, I'll come on in here. I'm pretty sure you can hear me. I'm just trying to pull up my Twitter.
I can hear you, yes.
All right, perfect. All right, I'm not just talking to myself. And
no, you're not.
Where's this guy
not this
at?
time. Not this
All
time.
right, normally it happens, but
yeah,
okay. I wanted to kind of just share with you guys. I don't know if you guys were able to catch my Twitter kind of post, and I'll go ahead and I'll kind of show you guys that I was celebrating when I was in New York. I wasn't only just doing business. I was taking a second to celebrate with the Rumble team. Don't know if you caught that, but got to catch them right there in Times Square as they were doing their little kind of presentation, and they rung the bell. So why not today look at the rum? It's not going to be a bad stock to kind of maybe trade today. So I'm going to keep that one on my radar. If I got to see them, why not maybe get a little trade in here in Rumble today? I'm going to be watching for a move back above the 1250s. And you can see here on the 15-minute, we got a lot of bottoming at the 12, right? So look for a quick push right through that 1250. Then I'm going to be looking for a retrace to that 1250. So, of course, it could go higher, could go straight to 13 and then retrace. But around that 1250 is where I like the levels to kind of meet up, especially we'll be kind of watching for that VWAP bounce type of trade. I'm going to see if I can nail this one. I know it's probably going to be on Ryan's radar too. I know that he's probably been seeing this one move. We'll see. I know it has a lot of retail following. So Rumble, let's see if we can get it. Let's see if it gets moving today, right? I mean, oh, look at that. And look, just like I'm talking about it, boom, already that moved through 1250s, already up there to 1270s. Well, I tried, guys. They couldn't wait for the bell. It happens like that sometimes. Already up there to 1278, almost the 13. I was just talking about it. It was just now at like 1218. Was going to look for that push. Well, it didn't wait for the open there. Already ripping there. Now 1280s.
And it's okay, Mitch, because a move through 13 would actually be pretty good for Rumble. We actually found some decent support resistance along that 13 line. So looking at 13, a move through 13, maybe 1350 on deck. You're right. I have been watching it. No position as of yet.
All right, for shorts, what can we look for? There's one that I've been calling for a while that I expect to continue to break down. That's MSTR. That's one of those stocks that I think eventually gets down there towards the 100. I think you're going to continue to see Bitcoin crack when you're seeing the overall market crack. It just has that correlation. Now, Tesla was one of the most interesting cracks as we saw that one really break through the 300, made its way fast to the 270. So important price point now to watch, that 270. We could crack through it right here out the open and just start leaking on down back towards the 264. We'll see what happens there in Tesla. One of my favorite, of course, to always short is Lucid. I've already called the move from 18 to 14. You guys know I've been calling that move for a while. Now the next move I'm calling is from 14 to 10. And so just watch for room on that. I think there's still room to get short on that, but you got to be careful because this one bites when it spikes. Look around. Starbucks has been one of those names that have held up. A lot of people are bullish this name, but I think that this gave us an ultimate opportunity for it to come right back down. Look for maybe potentially shorting on Starbucks. Roku is another one that I'll be looking at to start breaking down further. Now, where could we possibly see some bounces? Well, I'm going to be looking to see if the utilities can bounce. The utilities have come down really fast, and I've been watching kind of utilities trade in kind of a channel for very long. Look at this channel. Look at this channel and how you run right into it again. Now I should expect to see the bounce there in the utilities if it's going to stay in the channel, the sector. And look how long this sector has been in the channel. It's been in the channel since early 2020, just slowly going up. So why not maybe look for moments when we're at the bottom of this for a bounce in some of these utility names? That's what I'll be watching for. XEL is another one that I'll be looking for. It's right off the 200-day now. Let's see if it can bounce back towards 75. All right. And of course, oil plays have been tough, man. They got really crushed. Oil down further today. Will Oxy finally catch a bounce? I don't think I'll be trading it towards the upside, at least for right now. It's definitely a gamble here now, as it's starting to gap down on Friday. Now went down there. And you would think with nuclear kind of talk that this was going up. It's actually heading down right now. And it looks like even UNG is heading down right now. So let's see what happens with these. Because if this is somewhat of a good sign, at least for anybody that's a long-term bull, these are what you want to be seeing. If these commodities can keep coming down, the price of natural gas keep coming down, that's going to help out inflation, thus get us closer and closer to when we finally see the Fed say that word pivot.
Mitch, real quick, while you were talking there, looks like XPEV pushing towards the highs here. We got a current price here at 1445. Looks like the high spot here was 1450, 1449 there. We do have a catalyst here. XPeng shares are trading higher amid the company's founder increasing his ownership in the stock. So it looks like you have an insider buy from the company's founder. Maybe a push above 1450 here. Could put this in play here. If we do push above 1450, we actually look pretty gappy up to 15 and then maybe 1550. So XPEV one to add to the add to the list to watch out of the open here. Easy for me to say.
All right. Another big reason on why you could be seeing this, and I did catch this on NIO, is that NIO is taking a stake in an Australian lithium firm, Greenweg, and you're also seeing NIO. I saw mentions of China EV credits that are still out there. So some positive look out there in China EVs today. NIO is another one that I'd watch. Look at this setup. It just pulled back right before the open here. Look for it to hold 1775 and break through the 18s. Look at that. Nice little pullback, holding now 1780s, 1790s. Look for the 18 break, and I'll be watching NIL today. Not looking too bad there. XPEV, another one. Look for it to maybe hold the 1415 support. Come back through 1450. All right, time to go towards my boy. What's up, Zunaid?
Well, nothing. I'm just updating folks. You've got the bell. You've got the ADTX moving a little bit to the upside there. No position, waiting for it to kind of come back to threes if we do want to start something there. Shoot. Let me go ahead and
here goes ISPC.
We've got that. Let me see if I want to. Yeah, we will. Whatever.
VWAP right at 249. Possible trade here if we break above on ISPC. Needs to get above that 250 for your entry trigger, though. A lot of stock trading here at 248. Okay, there we go through 250. And they yanked it right back. Not in this yet. Still kind of wild here. Let's see if we push above 254 now. They're just refresh selling on 249. So ISPC really is going to need to get some juice here in order to keep moving. They cleared out 249 again. Might try a little here. Tight stop 245. Come on, break above 254. Got my finger on the trigger to exit here. ISPC.
I'm going to go ahead and try some Tesla $300 calls expiring October 28th. Just grabbing small size here.
ISPC stopped out. Sorry about that. This one, and it's right back. Oh, this one's gonna get me today. I can feel it.
IS what? I'm sorry.
ISPC. India Sandy Papa Charlie.
There you go. There it is on the right for you.
Good morning, Alana. That was nice of you to say. Hopefully you're having a good morning here. 254 might be your spot here on ISPC. Took a small loss on that to start the day here today.
I did make a mistake. I
bought NIO.
NIO?
Yeah. Here, I'll put 1787.
I bought the $300 calls expiring October 28th, but that thing is not liquid. That's on me. I should have bought the October 21st. So now I'm in an illiquid option. I'm already down $70 per contract. That is my fault. So hopefully Tesla can go and bounce here, but I am going to see if I can just get some equity in this one. Grabbing some equity here. 271 on the dot is what I've got. Also, let's go ahead and check out LCID, as that one's breaking up to the upside.
All right, looking for the breakthrough 18 here on NIO.
Mitch, how was the event from last week?
Oh, it was awesome. I got to talk all about that.
I was going to say, you got to tell us all about that, bro.
Yeah, and then what you guys really should stay tuned for is that New York Stock Exchange tour. That was awesome, I got to say.
Oh, yeah. That's awesome,
So
dude.
stay tuned for that. We got a lot of footage from that.
All right, this Tesla that we got in at 271. Now we're going to go ahead and sell majority of it here at 272.66. The unfortunate contract that we got in at 1025, the Octobers, I'm going to look to sell here at $10 just so I can get out of it. It's illiquid. It's my fault. I should get out of it. I got out at 1032, so I made $7 per contract. But the best trade was the equity side of things. Got in at 271, got out at 272.56. Going to go ahead and scale out some more here. 273.18s, some more out. Let's go, baby. What a move. And again, this is the level that we gave you before the market even opened, and I'm out the rest here at 273.62.
Nice trade, Zunaid.
Thank you.
Real quick, I see Jingle asking about Lvtx. Lvtx on our list here does look like it's breaking down. Actually, right now, looks like it's using the VWAP as resistance. I currently have your VWAP right at 550, maybe 551 here. We're beneath that right now. Looks like it wants to break down. In order for this to be a long side trade, we're going to need this to actually cross up through that VWAP. I don't know about that.
Out half on NIO at 1807.
Jay Rice, I'm still bearish, even if we get a bear market bounce here. I'm still bearish. I think 360 on the SPY is our next real test.
Yeah, I think we're going to have that one day where we have 350s, and that's where I'm going to be looking to start getting in kind of longer term positions.
And you don't need to be a hero if we do get that 350, right? There's no saying that we don't break and snap down to 340,
100%,
330. So
I think though at some point you got to start figuring out what's your levels to start working in.
No question. Be prepared for that. Have your list ready.
Yeah, and especially on the high quality names. And so I'm actually going to be coming out with a big video that I think is important for you guys to catch. I have Jay Woods from Drive Wealth, and I also got Adam Johnson. I asked him questions on 2023, what picks, where they should be looking at, what they would be watching, and of course what they expect the Fed to do. So don't miss that, guys. That's going to be coming out also later on. You don't want to miss all the content that came from New York. And as I'm seeing NIO spike up there towards the 18,
XPEV moving with it,
looking for the push towards 1820s here. Got in there at 87, sold some at 1807, looking for the continued push here into the 1820s, 1830s, and then I can take the rest of it out. Just celebrate a nice win here. See if we can get maybe a little bit under 50 cents here on the trade.
Tesla's moving to the upside here. I'm in a trade, but it's not worth calling out. It's already moved to the upside. But now I am going to go ahead and sell it, though, and that's why I bring it up, because, hang on one sec, I'll tell you exactly why I'm selling it. It's because you've got Tesla going up against the previous close, which I believe is going to act as resistance here. So I would not be surprised if it comes back and maybe test a 273, maybe even VWAP there. If it blows through, that's perfectly fine. But the trade that I was in was the 300R calls from October 21st, which is a lot more liquid. I had filled at 8. I'm out most of it at 855. But if it breaks past the previous close, then I'm wrong, and I am wrong, as now it's gone red to green.
That tech spike out the gates here. Could be a little bit of a trap here, but tech spiking out the gates here for us. Just if you want to take a look there, you guys can watch some of the bigger
I'm with
names.
you though. To me that feels like a trap. I mean, day trading it's one thing, but I'm not trying to take that move right here. I'm not sure I believe that.
I'll call out some of the bigger ones here that are spiking right now. Of course, some of these are going to be mixed. I'm not just going to stick to the quality names. I'm just going to call out some big movers out the gates here for us.
Meta.
Bark is up 4.9. CVNA. Carvana is up about 4.85. Wish is up about 5%. BBBY up about 5%. Jamaya 5%. Wayfair up 4% on Wayfair. Chewy up 3.65. So these are stocks that are ripping. They could be a little bit trappy. Just be careful out there. ChargePoint getting a little bit of a spike there, up about 3.4%. JD, interesting stock to see a little bit of a spike. But yeah, a lot of these stocks are making moves right now. Now I'm starting to get that move in NIO. Let's see if we can get that push through the 1820s.
I'm going to sell the remainder of my calls here at 870. I'm out 870 from $3 on the 300 calls expiring October 21st on TSLA. I'm interested in ADTX, but it hasn't quite come back down to the levels that I want. ADTX right in the middle. $3 is where I was interested.
ADTX here, Zunaid, looks like a move through 350. We got 360 as your day high. A curl through 350 might send it there. Kind of watching that. Also watching FFIE. We did pop above 1 after that yank back down to 90 cents. Currently printing 105s, 106s here. I'd like to see if FFIE can move. Right now, I'm watching ADTX on a move through 350.
We'll see if you get that scalping opportunity. And what a move on Tesla. $6 move from the levels that we gave you in the pre-market of around 270, and it came all the way down to about 270.35, and you do have some flow coming into ENPH. Let's see what's going on in that one. Looks like they're buying the 285 calls expiring this week approximately. Ooh, let's go ahead and check this one out. ENPH. There's that move. They're buying the 285 calls expiring this week, paying about $300,000 and buying 300 contracts on that one. So that's already
looking
made a
at
move.
the daily chart there, Zunaid, we traded down to 275. Looks like we held that as support. Does look like it's trying to curl here. Unsure what kind of staying power that has, though. But as you've seen, the EMPH options can move like crazy.
Yes, they can. I'd be interested in this around 280, 250. I'm not going to chase it all the way up here. Not at all. You've got NIO.
Yeah, there's some seller around 1815s that keeps kind of loading and getting some out. Let's see if we can blow through him. It's that 1815 level that keeps fighting there. You see a lot of wicks on the top side there. Some selling pressure coming in here. I just wanted to hold 18 on pullbacks right now and blow through 1815. If it can get through there, we should get that little lift. Here's a little test towards that again. And you can see how it gets knocked down immediately almost right there when it gets to that 1815 level.
Come on, don't ball.
ADTX moving through that 350 level.
Is this a fake out up? Honestly, nobody can know, but the only thing you can do is look. At least what I'm thinking about is trying to take quick profits into these spikes, right? If I'm playing to the upside, I'm playing quick, and I'm not trying to get trapped.
Yeah, to me, it does kind of feel like a fake to the upside, but again, bear market rallies can happen. They happen quite a bit,
and they're vicious sometimes.
See one.
I mean, right now you can see the SPY just ripping, right? 368s now, guys. So if you're, looking at, day trading action, look at Apple, look at that takeoff to the upside, right? Amazon takeoff to the upside there.
Also,
they had some plays there for
also
sure,
saw
right
some Apple 150 calls go by, Mitch, and just to kind of go along with that, got almost $700,000, 1,000 contracts of the October 21s, 150 call on Apple.
I'll take your October and I'll raise you to this week's 155 calls expiring this week. So if SPY wants to...
wicked move there. Wicked move. Wicked pullback right there, at least in my NIO. I'm about to get out there on the 18 if we don't hold this. Want to see if it holds and recovers 18. There's a recovery of 18. Now let's see if it comes back on up towards the high here, the 1815s, and takes it out.
ADTX really struggling to get above that 350 level. Just keeps getting yanked down to 340. Still watching it, though, because I think a pop above that, if we clear it out, maybe we can get a little bit of a move there. Paul C. saying you guys ignored Friday's chart. Sad. Paul, what are you referring to? It's possible we covered it before you got here.
I am annoyed because
out the rest there.
All right.
Out the rest there. It's still a little profit there. Decent little profit there, NIO. But seeing the market turn around really quickly there. Like we thought might be traps.
I am annoyed because I had this level of 268.71, and that's where I went to grab puts. And I was literally putting in the order to grab the puts. And then I was starting to talk to you guys in the chat, telling you about to take these puts, and then it just dropped on me, just right there. But anyway, this is why we talk about levels, so that you guys can go ahead and see if those thesis works out for your portfolio and your trades. Now, I'd be interested in a scalp play maybe around 367.24. So I'm going to have my order ready on SPY here. Let's see, SPY. Let's go.
ISPC through now. Took it off my screen.
I'm actually going to go 367.10s to buy some SPY if it wants to come down and dip and test VWAP. I am afraid that it's going to bounce right here at 367.25s, though.
Little part of me feels like playing a reversal action here in the SQQQs, but I'm not taking it just yet, guys. I'm just thinking about it, just looking at the chart.
Jay, interesting stat here. Pointed out on Friday that retail was buying puts. Put call record hit a record high with oscillators minus 1,000, due for a bounce here. It looks like we're seeing that. Paul saying SPY oversold way outside of the Bollinger 6 deviation or a Bollinger SX deviation bands. Closed with a hammer. Every time we get that oversold, we pop the next day. All right. Well, we're still kind of flat here.
I'm going to start a small position here on the SPY. I got filled at 367.30s. I do have some more that I want to buy around 367.02s. If I can go ahead and get that fill.
Man, the SPY just did a complete right move right back down there. Just be careful, guys.
Yep, from the levels that we talked about. And there's ENPH, but I'm already in SPY, so I don't want to take that one. Although I do feel, you know what? Let me go back to ENPH. I'm gonna take a very, very small size just so I can say I'm a dog. I'm a dog. I went ahead and got filled here at 284.50s. Stop loss is going to be the break of 280s on that one. I think that's where I'm going to go. And SPY's coming down. Come on, SPY. Don't do it. Don't do it, SPY. Don't do it, SPY.
Without a bone.
Come on. Yeah, see, we've already got a lot of bones today, and I don't want to give it back as a situation that I'm dealing with here.
ISPC took out 250 again. Waiting for a break higher here. It looks like maybe it's trying now. We'll see if we get it on ISPC. If I trade this, it's going to be smaller size, a little bit more of a forgiving stop. This thing has been a little wild. No position yet.
I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared of my INP or ENPH and my SPY positions, but I'm just managing them very delicately.
You're just trying to get the feel going here on a Monday, Zunaid.
Yeah. We're already 2 for 2, but I might end up going 2 for 3. We'll see. SPY trying to break that 367.40 to the upside. Holding VWAP. That's the reason I got into this one. ENPH is not, as that one's below VWAP. I'm going to go ahead and cut it here. I'm going to take a couple of dollar loss.
ISPC, they're bidding the VWAP here at 248.
Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Actually, let's give it. Yeah, we can give it a little bit.
Melco, which we talked about last week, popping here on the news that they're going to ease travel restrictions a little earlier than anticipated for Macau.
All right, there's the SPY. Let's go, man. All right, there's the SPY popping right back above. I'm going to go ahead and sell everything on SPY here. 367.75. We are out on the SPY. Now the only trade that I'm in is going to be ENPH. The break of 282, I will be out. So let me go ahead and get there. We're good on that side of things. Where is ENPH? Come on.
Taking a little ISPC here. Going to put my stop right at 245. We'll see if we can pop above 256. Just going to watch this here and not get too spread. I think ISPC for higher here.
All right, the order is already out there to take care of that. And then let's see what we've got. Interested in some shop as well.
Look to see if the SPYs take out 368s now and hold above that. We're about to hit it. There's 368.
256.
Oh, shoot.
Sorry for interrupting. Would like another push here. Come on, 257. Good volume on ISPC here too. ISPC, yeah, I'm probably going to screw that ticker up. Trying not to. Come on, pop above 257 and give us an exit here. They're refilling 256. There it goes. There's 257. Come on, take this out. There's 257. A little bit of size here at 258. We'll see if they can hit that. Right back to 258. Now, remember, 267 is your pre-market high here, so we'll see if this can end up getting some juice.
All right, so what I'll be looking for here is if we're going to get the reversal back down, I think Apple comes back down towards 151. So right now it's trying to battle into the 152s. Let's see if this holds in the next 10 minutes. We got about 10 minutes for that 10 o'clock reversal. Let's see if we get that wicked reversal or not.
ENPH, you are now in the green on that one as well by a whole
and a rack
$1. Come on, baby. And what a bounce from SPY on the VWAP. That's exactly why we took that trade and it worked out well. Had me a little worried, not going to lie, because I didn't want to go, I want to lose my streak. But for 3 for 3, ENPH, haven't booked my profits, so I'm not going to calculate that as a win just yet. But that did go $2 in the money. What are you going to do, ENPH? I need you to go test the highs. Can you go test the highs? I am out of everything on SPY, though. We got a 70-cent scalp on SPY, and I said, bye-bye. See ya.
That's not bad, Zunaid. My cat has found a bug that he's now destroying.
Oh, okay. Well, that's
I got that going for me.
Nice.
Yeah.
I'm going to scalp a little bit more. Well, I guess my first time taking some profits here at 286, if I can get it on ENPH. There it is, 286. We're out. We've got some remaining to see if we can take advantage of the upside move. I don't want to be too greedy on this one, though. So let me go ahead and sell. How much do I have here? Cool. I sold that. I've got remaining. I'm going to look to sell the remainder here at 387.40s if I can. Or excuse me, 287. Jesus.
And I'm stopped out of ISPC, darn. So it looked like that was going to go. Took a small L there. Rough start to the week here, but we're going to get back on track.
Yes, we will, especially if ENPH can move to the upside. Again, I've got my sells ready to go. What is this one? At 287.40s. 287.40s. I've got my seller ready to go. Who just sent me an email? Let's check who sent me an email. You've got the SPY testing the highs almost. Again, the high for today is about 368.58s.
AVYA popping here, maybe above 160 on AVYA.
I'm interested in shop, but where is it? Do I want shop? Do I want shop? I'm interested in shop to the long side. My only concern is the fact that the SPY is testing the highs and I wanted to break it. But I'm going to take just one contract just for fun because, you know, got to have my itch here. I'm going to take shop expiring this week, $30 calls, filled at 90. Let's see if it continues movement to the upside here as we're still waiting to take out a piece more of ENPH at the 287.40s. So far, haven't been able to get it.
Rippin', that's kind of what I was thinking here too. I was trying to play that break higher because it felt like it was going to do that, but I agree. I think if it can come back in and really try to test that 230 level, that was your initial pop out of the gate there on Friday. That is the bottom of the VWAP like standard deviation band. So we'll see if we can end up getting down there. We're below VWAP now, so it would really need to kind of hold that low print on the day, 235 ISPC.
All right. If you believe in this short idea, you do have a wick to the top again on SPY. Do what you want. I have no trade in that. The only thing I currently have is ENPH, and that's not going to be a green. That's not going to be a red trade for us as we took majority profits. Only have a small piece left of ENPH.
Ooh. What is going on out there? Seems like there's some action.
SPY moving to the highs here. I am seeing puts come in on American Airlines, Tesla, Chewy, Zoom, Peloton. Can't really derive much from Peloton. Pat McAfee is talking about Fubo again. Might rip here. Interesting. I've heard that podcast is great, but Fubo hanging out here 424. Excuse me. Jeez.
At least daily, it's making sense now. The Fubo.
I was gonna say something. Yeah, SPY new highs. Shop moving to the upside. ENPH right back above VWAP. Thanks for that. Oh, look at that level, baby. Yeah, I don't know what it's gonna do again. Oh, this would be a solid short, but I don't want to puppy trade.
Puppy.
I'll be down to get a puppy, but I just don't want to take care of it.
So you're not down to get one then, is
No.
basically what you said.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to wake
That's
up
pretty
and
important. I'm just gonna throw it out there.
I know.
Yeah, you kind of got to feed them, you know.
I'll have no problem feeding them. I have a problem cleaning up after them in the sense of
You're going to
poop
have
and
to
pee.
do that.
Yeah, it's like I don't
know.
clean up after myself. You
I
expect me
Yeah,
to clean up
without
after
the
a dog?
bitter, the sweet just isn't as sweet, Zunaid. So there's some work you're gonna have
Without the
to put
bitter,
in.
the sweet. Oh my goodness.
Plus, you become that animal's
Oh,
entire
man.
world, so you need to be able to do all of the things for it.
I know. You
Including
do have
stimulate its
some.
mind.
You do have some 295 calls coming in on Tesla expiring this week. I'm paying about $2 on that one. So that's like $15 out the money. So keep an eye on that. But Tesla, what a beautiful $10 move from the level that we called. We got a little bit of a piece of this. We got about $3-4 on this one. Didn't get the whole thing. And now SPY rejecting from the level of 368.71, almost to the penny. Let's see how much off I was. The high was 67. I was off by 4 cents. And it's coming back to test the previous close. The old me would have tried to just scalp this, but again, I told you guys about how I don't want to puppy trade, and I want to be a little bit smarter about things, so I didn't.
Don't be such a puppy.
I know.
SPRO trying to curl here, but seller wall at 218 there on SPRO. Frey looking pretty decent after retracing some of the move that it bled back here. Move through 50 on Frey might get that going.
Little bounce action today. Technology leading the way.
Lvtx continues to come in from where it was at in the pre-market. We didn't get that move above 6. We're below the VWAP now too. NVTA looks like it's trying to pop 258, your day high. 260 looks like another level there.
Took some profits at $1 on the shop trade. That's 10 cents. So that's $10 for every contract. Sold about half there.
Oh.
As you see, shop above VWAP. Moving to the upside, and ENPH looking to go back up as well. SPY still trying to see what it wants to do around the level of 368.71. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. And we're about 30 cents away from ENPH filling us at the 287.40s.
Oh, playing a little solar.
What's solar? You got a stock? Oh, ENPH. That's how you
I
know
love those
day
moments.
traders.
I love those moments.
They're like, I don't know what the company does. I don't care.
Solar? Who trades solar stocks?
All right, there's a
ENPH.
fill. We've got literally 5% left on ENPH, but we are out majority at 287.40s and at 386s. So that's a beautiful trade. We are 5 for 5 here today. Shopify, we took money on that one as well. I'm going to have a stop loss here at break even just so I can go 6 for 6. But I have the stop already there.
Ouch.
And there's SPY rejecting from that level of 368.71s.
Utilities getting pounded.
SPRO looks like it might try to break out here.
I think we got at least looking like at least a day bounce. The question is, will we get day 2 moves? At least we're getting a little bounce today for sure.
Yeah, I mean, if we get a bounce, how far is the bounce going to go, or how long does the bounce last? Is the question here.
Always
Lisa Lee, charge point. You're right. Charge point curling here. Charge point above 1535 looks interesting too. I think 1550 comes next. Charge point keeps pushing.
Just going to keep watching the SPY to see if we get into some chop. We're starting to turn around from the 368s. We're right back into the 367s here. So one of the actions that you want to see if you're looking for a continuation on those bullish moves is that push of the SPY really holding the 368s. It keeps battling that area right now. So watch for the next couple of like 15-minute candles. I would be looking to see what happens in the next 15 minutes. If the SPY can really push to 369, you got the continuation at least for the day, and you should have some nice little push in a lot of these stocks. So let's see if we get it. There's 368s really quickly back up there, and it's trying to get the 368 50s. Now let's see if it can get to the 369.
What am I gonna do?
It's a battle right there going on.
Apple
Amazon
highs.
2.5% today, guys. Decent day there for Amazon.
And at the highs here, along with Apple, by the way, on Amazon. Same with Costco.
The bigger stocks are showing an upside move right now. They would need to flip. So you're talking to your leaders, right? Apple, Microsoft, Google, Tesla.
I don't know what INPX is, but that's moving to the upside here.
That's a
SPY.
That's a penny stock. Huge push here. INPX apps business to be acquired in business combination transaction valued at $69 million. Interesting. So it was halted this morning here.
Gotcha. SPY new highs. Shopify,
merger agreement to acquire
upside.
CX app holdings from Inpixion.
Nice
So
day
there's a reason for that
today.
move. Let's go. Let's see what ENPH is doing. Hanging out there, nothing too crazy. Shopify still in that trade.
Mm-hmm.
Got the itch. Got the itch to grab some more names, but we're good. We're solid on the day. This is the best day I've had in this quarter, actually. Probably.
This I'm 0 for 2 today, but I've actually done a very good job keeping my losses small. I've been trying to get into the game, but I just not having successful trades here today. However, didn't make a mess of everything, so I guess I've got that going for me.
It's always a
Capital
I
plus.
did well in
management.
FanDuel yesterday, by the way, Mitch.
Hey, at least, right? You gotta make some money. What was I gonna say? I'm 1 for 1, but I haven't wanted to get into another trade yet. Kind of got frozen after that moment because I started seeing the flip down. I got out of the bullish trade, so that was NIO, and it's at 1823s now, kind of the level where I wanted to get it at. That doesn't look too bad. Look for maybe XBEV to catch the bounce now, but it's lagging a little bit there. LI and NIO kind of leading the Chinese autos today. We'll see if LI can hold the VWAP bounce now. SPY is battling. It got towards the 369 right on the dot. And where does it turn around? 369. This is how you show some of the choppy action. And then it goes right back into 368.30s here. Let's see if it takes that leg up through 369. It's just trying to slowly leg up, chop around now. So just be careful out there. I'm starting to see some of the chop.
Mitch, I did go 1 for 1 on my shirt game today. Here, check this out. I actually really like this.
Oh, I see you. You gotta swing one of those classic old wood clubs.
Yeah, just diversify portfolio, man. The way to roll.
Hey, that's how you gotta do it.
I
would
like
have-
Voodoo saying, Z, nice job today. Indeed, Zunaid. You were spot on. Very tactical
Thank
about
you.
that, too.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, good job, my friend. Seems
Appreciate you.
had a good opening to the market here. Now we'll see what happens. You know what time it is? It's 10 a.m. It's the witching hour.
VIX holding above 30 here, too. 30.80 on the VIX.
ADTX trying to move for high day, and as soon as I talk about it, there's a high day break, but it comes right back down. As SPY
the
comes back
witching
down
hour.
to test the previous close.
There's the SPY starting to cut there. All right.
Hey, boss man, I appreciate that. Yes, I have been trying to take some more care of myself.
That's awesome, dude. Good for you.
I see some reversals out there, so I'm looking at like SQQQ here. Starting to see like Success move up. Looking at those style of plays right now.
Ryan's gonna soon enough look like Chad.
I have to dye my hair blonde and be a Giga Chad.
Yes. Yes,
I don't know,
you do.
Zunaid.
Yes,
I don't
indeed.
think so.
No?
We'll
I'm
see.
interested in this ticker. Trying to watch my phrasing. ADTX on this one. I really want to get it with the stop loss below 320s, but I'm not gonna push it. It is strong though, no question. Oh, there it is coming down a little bit. Push it.
Push it.
All right, relax. Put it away. Put it away.
All right, the SPY battle in here, trying to get back up there towards those 369s. Just bounced right above the 368s after a quick little recovery. And it's just playing games now with this 368 and 369 level. Let's see if we can actually break out around it.
Hawaii Rye, this is a good tactical question here. I'll let the guys answer for their own trades as they do them a little bit differently than me. What do you guys give back for percent loss on days like today? 10 to 15%. I would say on a day trade, 10 to 15% is too much of a downside loss, especially if I'm trying to scalp. In some cases, I'm only looking for, pennies to the upside. So I want to make my downside loss a half or even a third of that if possible. Now, on days like today, one of the things that I'm doing is I'm actually reducing the size so that I can let that kind of go a little bit more, or if it yanks against me, it doesn't hurt me as bad. On the flip side of that, if you take a lower position size, hopefully if you pop, you get a little bit more of a run. We were unable to get that today. The last trade that we made on ISPC probably would have taken it when I was in a gain if I had had a little bit more of a position size. But I was actually hoping for that to bust through and push away from that closer to the pre-market high, which I didn't get.
All right, gambling, having a good day. LVS now up there at 39.67s. That was a decent trade. If you guys were able to catch some of the casino stocks today.
We had that news last week too, right? So if you were brave enough to hold that stuff over the weekend, you were rewarded. I didn't, though.
Caesar is also making a little bit of a lift there, catching a little bit of a bounce after getting pulled down. But Win, definitely look at that swing around from where it was on Monday. It's about a 14% swing there in Win Resorts.
Boss man saying,
You're
Ryan,
talking about, yeah.
Did the trader who used the 65 MA come on live? Yes, that was Andy. That was Andy of Mighty Soldiers Trades. He did come on live. He was the one that used the 65 EMA on the SPY pretty much all the time.
You should see if he's able to come on Thursday when I won't be here.
This Thursday? Let me shoot him a message right now.
When I won't be here, that way you have 3 folks total.
Actually, you know what? That's a really good idea, Zunaid. Good looking out.
Thank you. I got you. A lot of wicks on the SPY the past 15 minutes. Can't get above the 369 level, it seems. Makes me want to kind of grab a put here, but patience.
A little bit of a spike here on coal today, but I don't know if this is just the 200-day going into the daily and finding that spike there. It's trying to push back above the $20 level spot. That's where it pushed. We'll see if it can continue in the day. I wouldn't do too much about it today, but keep it an eye to see if coal can turn back around.
Hash, give me a little more. Can you explain the difference between these calls and options calls and puts on a stock? Ask what's the question, Hash?
That's like saying why is green green and why is blue blue?
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to answer. I'm just not sure
We
what it is that you're
need a
asking.
little expansion there. What do you want to know?
Is Shopify good for a multi-day hold? I do not swing
I
in
know you
any
don't.
part of my life. So, I don't have solid insight here, but just for you, I can go ahead and take a look. You can see that you have resistance here at $30, right? It acted as support, resistance right over here. If you believe in us getting a bounce this week, then I think yes, it can be a nice hold. You do have earnings in about a month. I know you're only asked for a multi-day. To me, if it gets above 30, sure. If not, I'd go ahead and get out. But I'll be honest, I don't know. You're below consolidation levels here, right around and you're trying to get above it. So if it gets above 30, sure, maybe. But I'll be honest, I don't know if I'd stress over it. But let me go ahead and get back to a 3 box, and then I'll answer Hash's question as you've got ADTX there. All right, what's the question? I'm just getting into trading, so I don't really understand the difference if there is any. Are you guys essentially doing the same thing and placing orders for puts and calls? So what we're like, are you looking at the charts and predicting patterns, right? Yes. We're trying to predict what the next movement will be. Yes. So for example, first off, welcome to trading. I hope you have extra supply of Just for Men, or if you're a woman, then, whatever women use to color their hair, because I've started getting white hair ever since I started trading because of the stress. But anyway, I like the VWAP, right? So this is the VWAP here. So if I see that the SPY is coming in on the VWAP, I believe that we're going to get a bounce. And that's what I traded earlier. I traded some SPY calls and I traded some SPY equity. So I bought calls because I'm hoping for a move to the upside. And when that happened, I sold my calls that I already had in my possession. There is a strategy where you write calls and you collect premium. That's a whole different ball game. I don't think any of us have done that here on this show in the past year that we've been doing this, except if it's like a debit spread or anything like that, which is when you buy a call and sell a call at the same time, things like that. But yeah, Elena said, you buy a call when you believe the stock is going up, you buy a put when you believe it's going down. And there is a strategy in terms of writing, and that's not going to...
Best way to think about it is that calls are a levered position to the upside and puts are a levered position to the downside. Understand that by taking an options trade, you're actually taking leverage. So you're increased reward, but also increased risk.
Becca, tomorrow I might just wear my pineapple shirt.
I knew it. You got a tattoo, pineapple?
Only in the right spot. VWAP is not a pattern. It's a lagging indicator, if you will. You can Google VWAP. It's a VWAP. Andy, I'm gonna ignore that comment. Wait, did you mean Mullen? I've never heard of that one.
Yeah, probably Mullen. The Mullinator.
Bro, I don't have anything on this. I have no idea. Once it
Mullinator,
cracked 50, it was a short for me. Of course, I don't have the capital for it, so I didn't. Hazenade, I did put when you did calls. Now I'm waiting for SPY. Wait, when did I get? Oh, you bought put when I bought calls at the VWAP? Is that what you did? Mad Money?
Oof, the SPY, man. The SPY just playing games with you. Now right back to VWAP there.
Well, see, this is why I'm glad we talked about a potential fake out early today, because we had said, potential bear market bounce, don't be faked out. It's a trap, the whole meme thing. And it looks like so far that's what we're getting.
Okay, cool.
31.
Are you at break even then, Mad Money? Because obviously I made money and already sold out. I'm not in a trade at all.
Costco going up, guys. Remember, how is their earnings? Looks like they got hit on that day, but it's coming back. Costco having a good day today.
And this is why it's important to kind of, so let's talk about this. We talk about, the time frames that we look at. If you are someone who doesn't want to get trapped, look at this. If you say, hey, this candle closed below VWAP, cool, now I'm going to get calls, you would have been wicked out of it, and you would have been, faked out because it went right back above. But if you wait for the 5 minute, you can see that it never closed below VWAP, right? Just kind of tested it. And now we're almost right back up to the highs. We're about maybe 50 cents away from it. So it's important to kind of look at different levels, different time frames, and know that the longer time frame, the stronger typically the trend is. And look at that beautiful bounce. Right back almost to the upside here. Let's see if we can go ahead and break it, or if this is going to be a new trend that we end up having. So going to draw my little crayon drawing there. I was banking on a dead cat bounce or a dead car bounce.
Dead car bounce. I like those.
Good luck to you on the SPY bouncing now.
All right, interesting one is XPEV here, guys. It's hitting the VWAP there. It's really interesting, nice little level to look for it. Remember, we were talking about the 1415s holding as support. It just held as support, just pushed through that 1425 level. I would like somewhere between 33s and 30s, but it could get through that 1450, get back up there towards 1467. Doesn't look too bad there, XPEV. And look at NIO now taking through that 1830s. That's why I'd be watching that one. And also, you could watch LI. Maybe an LI move through the 2650s going up to 27. Some to watch. Hurricane stocks. Yes, it's Generac. Generac is one that I was looking at today, but it's already ripping, and it's kind of a little bit gone already. I like it here, to tell you the truth. It's going to probably – I think it can make its way to 200 in the next, 2 days with the hurricane. A lot of this is going to be buy the rumors, sell the news, so you might have to get it quick before the hurricane actually hits, and you start seeing it come right back down. So – this is one of the ones that probably will get a lift in the hurricane. Also, Home Depot. Jay mentioned it earlier. I did see that. That one looks interesting for this pullback right now around VWAP there. Home Depot for the kind of hurricane push, right? I mean, it's going to probably get some lift there. Doesn't seem too bad there to get some of this before it takes off.
There is the market more and more upside here. Let's see what Tesla's doing. Tesla. Nice $12 bounce from the levels in the morning, the trade that we took. You've got Apple new highs.
Try to get this.
By breaking out now, I mean, at least of its range.
Trying to get back into that competition account, dude.
I forgot all about that for you.
Yeah,
Let's go ahead and take a trade on. I'm going to take a quick put here because I'm trying to be cute. It's probably going to bite me in the bum. But I'm taking the 370 puts here on SPY expiring today. 222 is my fill. I'm going to see how this 5-minute candle behaves. Of course, it moves to the upside. No. I'm going to give it till about $2. If it cracks $2 on the options, right? So I'm risking about $22 on the option side.
ALLK appearing on my scanner. Looking at the 15-minute chart, we got a pretty decent spot here at 632. Let me bring this up. So this is what I'm looking at. This chart here is ALLK. Just came up on relative volume here. We're pushing up. We're having a kind of a nice day here today. We're above where we were on September 19th, right? So we're above that high. That high looked like that was 614. Next one here is going to be from August 31st. We're approaching that. That's 632. So watching ALLK here as well.
Nice move to the upside. I'm out at 193, so I lost $30 per contract there. Gave up some profits on that one. That's on me. Should have been smarter about it, but beautiful bounce from VWAP levels of 367.50 though. Beautiful.
Red green here on the Dow. We were down all morning. We're green now. So market trying to rally here.
Mad Money, I hope your puts are, I hope you got out.
The question here for me is, how long does this last? Like kind of what we were talking about earlier, Mitch. Like, do you believe this bounce? Are you looking to trade that, or are you looking to short these pops?
I think they're day trading opportunities, so that's the hard part.
Yeah.
And you got to determine if you're going to actually think these are longer term. I think they're just day trading opportunities, but then again, you're never going to really know. And so you got to play the game of, how far do I play these? What percentage makes sense for me?
And real quick, just because we were discussing it at before the market opened today, we talked about LTVX wanting to see how this is going to trade, not taking it right out of the gate. I mean, right away we broke beneath VWAP, used it as resistance, have been really unable to clear this, and we've stayed below it. So this is one of the reasons why we're not just going to buy the things that are up in the pre-market just because they're up. We want to see how they trade today. LTVX looked like it was going to give us an opportunity for a break above this 615, 6-ish area. We didn't end up getting it, so no trade here until we get it. We'll keep looking for spots. We'll keep trying to keep ourselves as protected as possible. These casinos still just pounding the highs. Those would have been decent to buy off the open, although it looks like they tried to shake people out. Mitch's favorite stock, Party, pushing to the highs here, 190.
Who wants to party?
Yeah, break up
different
two
song.
Mitch
mixing in a different song.
I'm making my own song, like usual.
Uh-oh.
Boom,
Watch
boom.
out now.
You send the guy to New York once,
And he comes back.
What happens?
Back an
recording
artist. Yeah.
Hey, I caught some guys in the subway. They got me the feels,
Wait, when does that video come out? I'm excited to see your experience.
Oh, it's going to be awesome. So the tour, I'm going to be putting that out later in the week. We're just going to be working it in. And then you got some stock pick videos that are going to be awesome. I think those are really great because at the end of the day, what I think we all need to be kind of thinking about now is what do we do in 2023, right? Because right now, I think until the end of the year, it's don't fight the Fed, at least for me. And it's going to be that way till probably the end of the year, right? But then into 23, if we start getting finally the Fed to pivot, that's when you're going to want to be ready. That's when you're going to want to have already had some exposure into the markets and look to see if you can find some high quality names. So look forward towards those 2023 videos. Look forward towards the New York Stock Exchange tour. And I have a lot to show you guys. It's just we're working it out right now. If you guys didn't catch today, we did put out an exclusive video from the Qualcomm Automotive Investor Day. That was with Chris Ketchy, an exclusive interview with the president and CEO of Qualcomm. And we're going to continue trying to push the levels here at Benzinga and try to get you guys more and more access to the top companies in the U.S. Stock Exchange. I mean, in the whole New York Stock Exchange, there's some companies that we haven't gotten to before that I really want to get into. I mean, at the end of the day, I know that, we want to get some interviews. We want to eventually get to Tesla's Investor Day. Those are going to be things that we're going to be working on here at Benzinga. We're not going to stop until we get there.
Absolutely.
Apple cranking on higher.
So is the SPY.
I'm gonna grab.
Yeah, there's a crank.
Up here.
I'm gonna grab
the. It did that pullback right quick and then just cranked.
October 31st, 375 calls got in at 10:06. If it goes out and closes a 5-minute candle below the 369.49s, I will be out.
Tom, are you looking to short this move up? Just out of curiosity. Tilray looking like that might want to take out 295 here. Someone had mentioned that the Crypto Taurus mentioned that the cannabis stocks are up. CGC, Tilray, CACB here, all of them.
Robert's asking about Fed talk. Oh, yeah, Tom, that's in the chat. Fed talk is later today. There will be some Fed talking around all throughout the day. There's multiple Fed talks, so just stay out there. You could see some changing in the middle of the day with some Fed talk, but I think you're going to continue to see what they're going to say. They're going to be saying, oh, well, I know Powell doesn't see a soft landing, but maybe we can get it right. That kind of optimistic outlook. Or you might hear the other side of, yeah, we're trying to fight inflation. I mean, are they saying anything new?
Frey maybe through 15 as Frey sets up here. FREY on Frey. Frey pulling back here now.
I want to grab some SPY. And I will. I'm going to grab some SPY equity here at 369.72. Stop loss will be if it closes below this 5-minute candle below the 369.49s. So I'm in the equity to the long side. I'm in the calls to the upside. Let's see how we behave in life.
Let's see what we can get.
All right. Quick enough. We're about 20 cents in the money. That's what we like to see, but obviously we want more. So we're going to hold on.
VIX melting now. VIX below 30, 29.23 on the VIX. Interesting.
That's what we love to hear,
Gotta think
baby.
that turns around at some point today, but we'll see.
Hey, whoa. Let's wait till I get out the trade. And then it can do whatever it wants.
Yeah, let's wait till 11, right? When we get, what do we get next? Some futures action, of course. None other than with Zunaid. Don't miss it, guys.
Yee.
Futures action coming up next.
Make sure I think we got the link. My man Enver sent the links out. Appreciate you, Enver. Enver's a dog. Dude, always on top of everything.
Yeah, he is.
Ooh, Neil Hamilton is joining the social media call. Okay, Neil. All
right.
And is that 230 test you were calling for on ISPC? Good stuff. You see this turning around? What levels you got if this turns around, boss?
Come on, let's get some new highs on the SPY. Part of me wants to just like scalp this for 20 cents. I'm like, I'm out. I'm done. But no, we want more.
No question, Tom. That's one of the things that I'm watching. I don't think that we are at the bottom by any stretch, and I would agree. You were going to need a big VIX pop in order to do that. We haven't had that yet. You think VIX above 40? Interested if you have a number there on the VIX.
VIX was what, like 80 something during the 2020s?
Let me see.
Yeah, we haven't seen Neil. You know what? You should just ask Neil to hop on Thursday if Andy says no. Be like, Neil, we need you. We need an emergency sub.
The COVID. When you mean, are you asking about the VIX?
Yeah.
That was 85.47. Good call.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Good call, boss.
You know, we try. SPY did make new highs, so I am going to go ahead and scale out of some of these. Let me go ahead and sell at least that much. All right, I'm selling some here at 369.98. We got in at 369.72, so we're just scalping. Just in case, locking in our gains, because you never know. Because you never, ever know. I'm actually going to take the whole position here at 369.94 because I'm in the calls, so I still have exposure to the upside, so I'm out of everything at 369.94. It's got in at 369.72s. So about a 25-cent scalp there. And the calls that I'm in are the 375 calls expiring October 31st because Halloween. But also because I wanted to buy some more time. Not that I'm going to swing these, but my heart can't take the dailies anymore.
Caterpillar making a little move on up today. Deer also. Looks like the SPY is on kind of rip and pause mode. So it's taking a pause right now. Look for maybe a little pullback and maybe another rip up. But Tesla, Amazon kind of leading the way today, up about 2.78. Amazon, Tesla up about 3%. And Apple about 2%. So unless those kind of change, you're probably still getting a little bit of a push there in the market. Look at Microsoft trying to play a little catch up at 1.2. Look for those to kind of keep pushing towards the next level. If those kind of keep holding, you'll probably hold the market up.
ADTX above. You know, I kind of want to grab some of this ADTX here. What am I going to do? I'm going to grab some ADTX here. Let me tell you my fill. 352s. Let me go ahead and go to a 3-box. Shop. Just chopping around. I'm going to get out of shop. It's like at break even. Going to get out of that. Put up ADTX here. All right, ADTX. I'm in at $3.53. It's holding the VWAP. It's got higher highs. So that's the reason I'm in this trade. 330 break would be my out. 330 break would be my out on ADTX.
Tom saying, yeah, VIX 40s would do it for me. So that's some of the stuff we're watching too. Thanks, Tom.
Come on, SPY. Come on back up.
ISPC breaking down through that 230, 225 now currently. Melco still sitting around highs there. That was a good trade. We got over a point move here on Melco from the open this morning. So didn't even really need to have that. That news looked like that continued. That continued to push these stocks. And that's not alone either. Las Vegas Sands, as you guys have mentioned, and Win as well, doing the same thing. Same tailwind from that. See some Apple 130 puts coming in now.
Yep, market looking to come back below the level. And good thing we sold our equity, but we do have the calls. So now we're down about 3% on our calls at the moment. We'll see what this 5-minute candle does. If it closes below the 369.49, I will be out. As ADTX come in, we're in the hole in that one by about 6 cents. Coin testing VWAP here. So if you like the long side, this isn't a bad idea. You can risk about 50 cents and get out at the break of 64.50s if you want. Seeing some puts on gold. I don't trade gold, so I don't know what this means, but GLD 145 puts coming in on the ask, expiring October 14th, approximately $100,000 worth. And now you've got some bullish flow on Mara, $10.50 calls expiring this week, approximately $50,000 worth. Bum ba-da-dum bum ba ba bum 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 ba-da-dum bum ba-da-dum bum bum. SPY, nice bounce from the 369.50s. Let's see if that level holds and if we can see more upsides. Those calls are now down 1%. But my ADTX, though, is down 10 cents here. Oh, man. Oh. Oh, we got Dallas and Giants playing tonight. That'll be a fun.
Yeah, NFC East matchup tonight. Should be fun.
Oh, man, here comes ADTX. Right when I decide to get in this puppy, it's going to come down.
Here comes Lvtx. Looks like it's finally trying to curl here. Now, we got the VWAP here at 517, so some room here if this can make it.
What was it? LT what?
Lvtx. I probably transposed the numbers there. Sorry about that.
That don't matter.
Lima Victor Tango X-ray. You got it.
There it is. SPY. Trying to, again, just flirting with that 369.49. What you gonna do? I am in 2 losing trades at the moment. One of them being ADTX. I got that one at around 353s, I believe. I will look to add. Yeah, I'm going to look to add here. Around 322s, I'll look to add.
Lvtx looks like this is trying to curl back towards the VWAP here.
Actually, no. No, never mind. I'm just going to get out. Let me just get out. Let me just protect my gains. ADTX, I'm going to go ahead and get out here. I was in at 353. I'm out at 331. So I lost about 21 cents on that trade. I am out of ADTX. If it wants to get back above VWAP, I could be interested in this one. But for now, I am out. Took a loss, unfortunately, like a dummy.
Here's your pullback on Lvtx. Okay. Well, it's trying to hang in there. Not in this, by the way, just kind of watching the trading action here. It sure feels to me like we're trying to pop back up to that VWAP. Is that yellow line on your chart the VWAP there, Zunaid?
Yes,
yeah,
it
got
is.
Same level. 517 right there. They brought in a bid here at 475. We'll see if they're hitting it. Here we go. Here we go. That was too fast for me to get an entry there, though. You would have had to been playing that from the curl. 496. Let's see if they take 5 now.
Yeah, look for resistance to be between 5 and 520 on that one. I added a spike call, same one, just added it at 998.
This one's pretty wild here. This is a tougher trader. It looks like a spot at 5 here if they try to take it. If they take this, I think this is going to 517, honestly. Nope. Hold it back to 485. God, this sure feel like this wants higher, Zunaid, I tell you.
I'm going to go ahead and get out of my SPY calls here. Out at 977. 977, I am out. Gave up half my gains that I had on the day. Still green, but that's unfortunate.
Colin asking, why are the casinos so hot today? So, Colin, first of all of the casinos have the same type of catalyst. And according to Benzinga Pro, by the way, if you don't have Benzinga Pro, be sure to use the link in the description here to get a free 2-week trial so you can answer those questions when they come up. Las Vegas shares are trading higher amid signaling that Macau COVID-19 travel restrictions will be lifted. Macau is home to many casinos, so this would also include things like MLCO and Wynn, which is probably the other casinos you're seeing. I think MGM was up as well today. So it looks like they're all kind of moving in sympathy. Again, that's because of the easing COVID-19 travel restrictions in Macau. That's your catalyst. Jay Wild's got you.
Jonah, yeah, or Johan, I was. I didn't even realize till you said that. I think I was humming Kahonaho, I think is what I was doing. Dun, 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 dun. I'm dancing between the raindrops. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, Tom, that's kind of what I'm thinking too. We're kind of in no man's land here, right? Too high to buy, too low to short. Value guys aren't stepping in just yet. We've already had pretty much been in a bear market for the past year, and we're just kind of hanging out there. This is one of the reasons why you and I were just talking about the VIX. I'd love to see a capitulation flush on that VIX and give us what at least appears to be a tradable bottom. Haven't seen that yet. We talked about VIX 40. We're currently at 30 right now. So we need to see some more downside move here. Would love to see 360 get snapped on the SPY.
Yeah, that would be 350s. Look out. What you gonna do here, SPY? Coming back to test the 369.50 levels. I'm already out of my calls. I did give up my gains. Little upset about that, but you know, life of a trader. We went 6 for 6, and then we went 0 for 3. That's on me. I personally have no idea, Colin.
All right, guys. I'll give you guys an opportunity that I don't put out always. One thing is we always like to ask questions, right? And so what I'll do is right now, I'm going to be interviewing up next in a few minutes after the show. I'm going to be interviewing Ann Barry. She's from Threadneedle Ventures, and she's always on a lot of the media out there. So I want to get some questions from you guys. So I'm going to do a little crowdsourcing. What questions do you guys have about the economy that you would want answered? I feel like, a lot of times I make all the decisions there and choosing what to ask, but I want to give you guys an opportunity here. It's not that I'm not going to ask some of the questions I already have, but if you guys want to go ahead and ask a question to a leading analyst in the space, definitely go ahead and throw it up in the chat. I'll make sure to write some down and give you guys a little bit of credit. You guys can come on over at Stock Market Movers and check it on out.
How to play TTM squeeze. I actually have heard good things about the TTM squeeze. I personally have never played it. I'm sure there's a ton of YouTube videos on that.
Yeah, that's a good call there, Zunaid. There are a lot of videos on that. I do use the TTM squeeze indicator on my SPY chart in Thinkorswim.
Yeah.
I gotta say though, I don't necessarily take opening and closing trades off of it. I do watch it for key levels of reversal. One of the things that you'll notice is that sometimes the signals either change or appear to be late depending on the price action. So it's definitely good to watch. I still watch it, but I don't necessarily use it as an entry indicator. If you do that, be sure to practice it first so you can kind of get a feel about how those arrows are being added to the chart and what's triggering that. The last thing that you want to do is just be buying any indicator just because it pops up, only to be head faked and chopped up.
Yeah, no question about that part.
All right, so it looks like I'm starting to see Apple starting to roll around there and roll all over there. So just be careful. You're starting to see Tesla also show signs of slowing down, right? Those have been the big boys moving us up. Amazon, look to see if that one starts coming back towards the VWAP. Some slowing down in that action. And this is kind of normal. We're not just going to rip back. I expect, some choppy action in the next couple of days. Maybe we come sideways. Maybe we make a move even up towards 374. The big question is going to be, do we end up taking out that 362, right? I mean, a lot of people are looking for it. Some people said that we could potentially bounce here and get back up there. It's just going to be on watch now and what catalyst takes charge.
See, the degenerate in me wants to grab puts here with an expectation of us visiting those. What you got? You're good. What's up?
I was going to say ALK. We just talked about it. I took it off my screen to do work, and it popped through that 632 all the way up here at 640. Looking back on that chart, remember that 632 was the level that we identified from August 31st. Did just pop above this. This was a great one, right? It kind of right as it took this out, it kind of grinded a little bit higher, then went for that next level, popped and broke above that next level. ALK looking like a pretty good chart here. If we take a look at the daily here, the big thing to keep in mind, above 1180, we are gappy all the way up to 70. Now, I'm going to have to go back and see what this was from December of 2021 that caused that drop. Maybe that was a split or something. I'm not too sure. Disappointing data. So they had disappointing data that really drove that down. Did not achieve statistical significance. That was back in December of last year. Interesting. So we'll see if things change around there, but huge spot on the chart at minimum. I wanted to say data dependent, but I think that we've heard that term way too much recently.
Data dependent. It's what is it? It's transitory, hawkish, devish. Dovish, excuse me. Yeah.
Devish.
Nah,
Yeah, Zunaid's a little devish,
Hey, you know me, 6'6".
Alk big pull here. ALK.
It's part of the devs.
You've got
devs.
good thing I got at ADTX because that's coming back down.
But yeah, I was making fun of it a little bit on pre-market prep. I used the good old friend scene when he's trying to bring the sofa up from the stairs. And
The
he's
pivot?
like, pivot. Until we hear the Fed say that or actually accomplish the pivot, because it just seems like they were trying to say transitory. I don't think it was transitory, Oh man, can you imagine him thinking back and just seeing his interviews from like a year and a half ago? Oh yeah, inflation's transitory. It's coming back around,
You know how many people during that were like, no, and they were ridiculed, and sure enough, here we are. So,
one of the biggest things there is I kind of think that is the Fed doing anything that they've never done before? They always play the game of extreme. It was extreme supportive. Now we're going into extreme restriction.
Well, that's what everyone always says. The Fed's late, right? So they're trying to play catch up. They use backward-looking data as it is. So to me, the extremes that you're talking about, Mitch, it seems like that's what they've always been doing, right? They
this isn't anything new.
From extreme to extreme.
Exactly. They're just going from one side of the boat to the other side of the boat, and then just weighing it, and then eventually what happens? Okay, let's go back to the middle. Okay, let's go to this extreme. Okay, let's go back to the middle. Let's go to this extreme. That's the game they play, guys. And so you got to know when the environment is supportive to investments and when the environment isn't supportive to investments. Right now is not a supportive time. And until they change, until the Fed changes, you go with the sentence that was said the most in probably the last 2 years. You don't fight the Fed.
Yeah, that's the best advice. Don't fight the Fed.
If you didn't fight the Fed this whole time, what would have happened? You would have been saving some money, right? I mean, let's just be honest.
ISPC, Ripon DT talked about that 230 level. We actually broke beneath that. We've curled back through that 230 level on ISPC here. So maybe this is turning around. I know some of these plays haven't been great right out of the open, and then they've been great later on. So maybe keep an eye on ISPC. We are crossing through 230 here. If you do trade it to the long side, be careful. No position for me at this time.
You know, one of the things that I actually learned this in the opposite environment. In 2020, when the Fed just started just printing out like crazy, I didn't know how to react. I was like, we're in a pandemic. How the hell are the markets going up? This doesn't make sense. Everyone's locked down at their house, yet the markets are bouncing back. Rally, 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 rally. What was that? That was not fighting the Fed, but on the opposite side. They were the bulls. They were carrying the market. If you wanted to fight down the market because the pandemic was happening and you were, scared of the pandemic and COVID, well, you were now fighting the Fed in the opposite direction. I think this is the important thing to notice. We always want to be with the Fed in our long-term outlook because that's going to help us catch the rotations that they put on for us.
And Mitch, how many times during that period that you were just referencing did we see the market trade down because we got some bad news, which made sense, and then overnight the machines were just bidding it up into the next day? How many times did we see that? And we were often, saying here, and you saw it on TV, and any traders discussing with each other, why are we up? We're getting bad news. Why do we keep trading higher? Well, it doesn't make any sense, but let's just enjoy the ride. Now that sugar bowl is being taken away and reality is starting to set in.
100%. I think this is where you got to try to catch yourself now, is figuring out, what do I do in this environment? Well, we just need to pay attention to more and more when we actually do feel that the Fed will pivot. Of course, at least the outlook is definitely 2023, right? Sometime in 23, we expect the Fed to pivot. Now, a lot of that's going to be determined on what? On the inflation data. So if you're a kind of person that you pay attention to it, you're going to determine what's the level of inflation where you're going to be like, okay, now we're really heading towards that 2%. Let's start seeing the market bottom. And usually the market's going to bottom before that data actually hits, right? Like we were saying, the Fed is late to the party. Well, they're going to be late to the party again. The question is, pay attention to that inflationary environment. What can happen here, and watch how inflation comes down, and then react, I think, purely off of the inflation first, then the actual pivot that everyone's looking for in the Fed. So we're going to have to wait to see inflation come down first. And what do you need to watch for is what's holding up inflation. So rent destruction, demand destruction. Look for that to actually happen, because the prices aren't going to come down. Those sticky prices in rent aren't going to come down in the housing market until we get full demand destruction in the housing market. We also need to see what? Well, we need to see the energy services bill come down. We need to see oil prices continue to come down. We need to see natural gas prices continue to come down. If the Europe situation doesn't exacerbate the situation here in the US, that could potentially get our inflation down. So you got to be looking at those signs for the turns. If you're looking at that, that's going to be your call there. Of course, it's going to take some time to show up in the CPI, but if we continue to see stocks like, XOM, Chevron just continue to break, this is going to be all good signs in the long run that inflation is turning around. and we're coming right back to some normality.
Speaking of turning around, a lot of those charts that we talked about at highs reversing now. Apple, Amazon, Costco, Square, huge reversal here. SPY bleeding back that little breakout candle that it showed you out of that consolidation zone from the morning here. We're still green, but barely. We're right at about flat here. Tom is saying the Fed won't pivot. They also have a huge balance sheet to work off. This is the exact camp that I'm in. I don't think we're going to get rate cuts anytime soon. Fed's really got one lever that they can pull, and they're going to yank on that as hard as they can. So
yeah, and then they are doing the asset sell-off, right? I mean, I think that a lot of people didn't pay attention to that starting in September. They increased the asset sell-off. This hurts the liquidity markets, and I think that you're seeing the effects of it coming on down. The question, of course, will be the ending a number in the SPY when we finally find that bottom? Will we come back down towards 2020 numbers? That's the overall worry, because a lot of the stocks, they made back a lot of that pandemic run, right? Will we make the pandemic run down? That's the scary part. That's where a lot of people get questions. I think that you don't hit the panic button until we crack, let's say, I would say the 350s, 340s. That's when I would definitely be kind of more in panic mode. But it wouldn't be panic to run away from the markets, but more along figuring out, how do I get in this so that I don't miss an opportunity when we're down there? It's tough. Cash is king, I still think. Cash is still king. As much as you're losing out to inflation right now, cash is still king.
Well, we met. If I would have taken that put, we would have met our target on VWAP. Now, it's tricky because it's like you want to go short, and I should have gone short right when I talked about it, but I didn't want to puppy trade. And now that we're here, it's like, now what do I do? Because it is below VWAP. It has made a green to red move. Now it's like, darn, do I think we will end up going and testing the lows and then more? I don't know. Let's see what happens around this area. But I think I'm done trading for now.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah,
I'm actually going to
are.
jump. I'm actually going to jump here a few minutes early. I'm sorry. I've got a pretty big task list or punch list, if you will, for the day. So I'm going to go ahead and get started on that. We're going to be back tomorrow, though, aren't we?
Yee. Unless some crazies are going on. Not that I know of.
Have a good one, folks. We'll see you tomorrow. Stay safe. Watch that ISPC on that curl here.
See
Have
ya.
a good one, Ryan. We'll see you tomorrow, my friend.
I'm
All right,
gonna head
got
out
Ryan
here as
on
well.
out of here. I'll give you a couple of minutes before you get started on some future trading action that will be coming on next in just about 8-9 minutes. We'll be getting started up.
Yep.
All right. We'll see you next time, my friend.
See you tomorrow.
See you in a little bit, actually. All right, so let's go ahead. Let's take a look at some of the market here. Consumer cyclical moving on up today, leading the party. A lot of this coming from the resorts and casino. We talked about it. LVS, if you wanted to look at some strength, look at the casinos. Look at that move in LVS. It's continued up, even though the market pulling on back. Wynn is the next one. Look at this move. Really great day there for Wynn. So if you were thinking about these plays, these were all on the Macau mentioned news. Of course, on pre-market prep, we talked about this. What ended up happening here is that Macau announced its plans to allow tour groups from the mainland China as soon as November. So you're seeing these stocks get some lift. Caesar was also getting some lift. But the main two, Wynn and Las Vegas Sands, as they continue to push on the day. We'll see if they're able to close in the green. All right, continuing on here. Let's take a look at some other stocks making greens today. You see gambling stocks up today. You see leisure up today. So even the cruise lines getting a little bit of a bounce. We'll see if they're able to hold that bounce, or was that kind of just a dead cat rally, right? The SPY coming right back towards 368 and right back into some levels that we could see some continued leaking on out. Now, of course, take a look at the major leaders. Will they get back into the red? Apple still up about 1.4. You got Amazon up about 1.9. I've talked about how they were starting to slow down. A lot of our major leaders are starting to slow down here. Microsoft, Google, will these go into the red today? If you see they get into the red, watch out. The market could be following. Took 13% from Zuck with some meta options today. Hey, power to you, Charles. I hope that you were able to nail them and get on out too. And it's just how it is right now. Money Mitch, what do you think about Boyle this winter? Well, I think that at the end of the day, we have to kind of have that natural gas run again. It doesn't make sense in my eyes why it wouldn't. Now, the only question is, when will we get that natural gas run? I think we need to get closer towards winter. And so maybe we see this kind of downtrend continue even in the beginning of October. But as we get into kind of slowly into some later months, especially when you start seeing the first freeze across the US, look for maybe that being the spike that really causes a nice jump there in BOIL or UNG. Right now, I'm keeping myself on the sideline. I did play this one multiple times, made some money, lost some money. So I'm looking for it again. For right now, the time being, I'm staying on the sidelines and looking for that big spike day or a catalyst to give us that spike. And a lot of that, I think, is going to be more related to the weather. So look for the weather to really start showing some winter signs, some first freeze, and then you'll start seeing the furnaces all get turned on. And when the furnaces all get turned on, how will the supply be then is something to keep on watch. Germans are restarting 3 coal plants from October. Yeah, this is something to keep watch also, because you saw what was up today, coal, right? BTU catching a little bit of a bounce today. AMR catching a little bit of a bounce today. CEIX. Take a look at some of these coal plays to see if in the next couple of weeks they make their way right back up to highs. So we'll keep on watch BTU the next couple of days. We'll keep on watch AMR, and we'll keep on watch CEIX to see what happens on these coal players. Will they just continue to push on up with those mentions of Germany starting some coal plants? Yo, Mitch, what do you think about companies doing a stock buyback? Well, stock buybacks are all around. This is just one of the ways that they're going to go ahead and try to hold up their price. Now, of course, I think on announcements of buybacks, that could be a positive catalyst. But in the long run, really right now, what's driving more is the overall market. I think I wouldn't really be paying attention too much to stock buybacks unless they're excessive towards the upside. But that's just going to continue to kind of slow down the downside action in the stock. And that's why they're doing it. They're just trying to keep the share price a little bit higher by doing those stock buybacks. But I think in the long run, a lot of these companies just keep coming down, right? And so you're just kind of pretty much finding what is the long-term game with these stocks, unless you're playing the intraday action like we do a lot here on live trading, where you just want to go ahead and nail kind of the quick little pattern, get in, get out, and then see what happens in the day. If it's a green day, it's a green day. But it's just hard to determine daily action right now from candle to candle. And that's why even swing trading is really hard in a market like this that's so what? Catalyst driven. This is a catalyst driven market. It's very important to always ask yourself, what environment am I in? I'm in a catalyst driven market right now. I'm in a bearish type of market. I'm fighting the Fed because the Fed keep raising interest rates. And until some of these can start changing, like our signs that we need to look for, which is inflation coming down fast, until that can really happen, we're going to keep fighting and fighting to come back down and just fighting the roof every time we come back up. Even though we get a little spike, there's no true catalyst. There's no tailwinds to help us push up. There's just a bunch of headwinds out there, a bunch of inflation worries, a bunch of the Fed worries. So until we can fight those headwinds, fight the wall of worry, we're going to keep fighting right here. So, and another area to keep on watch, of course, is what happens in oil. If you watch those stocks, they keep coming down, it's going to be something that will help us flip. Roland asking about my, it's not my competition book, Roland. It's the CMT book. So the CMT and the competition is just something on the side. The CMT is actually something really serious. It's the Chartered Market Technician. And what you want to do is look into the CMT Association. Look what that does. Go on their website, Roland. Learn a little bit more about what the CMT does, and then you'll be able to determine if I should get those level 1, 2, or 3 books. Of course, if you're going to take the time to do all the books, why not maybe get the actual accreditation? I mean, it's up to you, but just take a look at it. I ain't never got no worries. Appreciate the good luck on the interview. That's going to be coming up next. So on Stock Market Movers today at 1:15, I'll be having Ann Barry. And then, of course, on that show, I always have 2 guests. I'll have another guest on with me at 1:45. That's what it's all about there on Stock Market Movers. If you guys haven't been there before, I go through all the headlines that are out there. what's moving, what's not, what was hot in the day, and of course, get to expert opinions that keep you guys in the informational edge. All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap on up. It's about 10:57 here. Up next, you guys will get some futures action with Zunaid. It's going to be, of course, like always, if you guys have never learned the futures market, it's something to be interested, especially in times like this when you're trying to figure out ways to hedge or ways to be in markets at 24 hours so you don't have to worry about that overnight action for swing traders, right? There's definitely ways around this, and one of the main ways around that is going to be by using some futures action. All right, so that's going to do it for me on live trading today. Like always, stay tuned. We got a lot for you in the rest of the day. And if you guys didn't catch the Qualcomm interview on pre-market prep, definitely recommend checking that out. That was an exclusive interview just for you Benzinga viewers on out there. That's what they did it for. They wanted to get to retail. They got to retail. You guys on out there, check out Qualcomm Automotive Investor Day, and it was an exclusive interview with the president and CEO of Qualcomm. That's on pre-market prep. I'll definitely include that link so that you guys can go ahead and tune in on that. And if you guys had a great time today, do me the favor, hit the like button before you get on out of here. I want to give you guys that link to the YouTube, and here it is. Copy that link. Boom. You guys go ahead and check out that link. Go ahead and see the interview that was on pre-market prep today, and stay tuned. Later this week, the New York Stock Exchange tour, and we're going to have some great picks, of course, by Jay Woods and Adam Johnson, some of my favorite analysts out there. So we'll see what happens on this week on Benzinga. Will we have an up week? Will we have a down week? I know one thing. We're going to have a lot of new content just for you guys out there. Hit the thumbs up on your way out.
Check